I'm just wondering, do you think those, even the small changes from large moving all the way down to maybe driving to work differently, or maybe finding a different way to say good morning to people, those are the type of changes that get you a new perspective? Would you agree, or what do you think?
I would totally agree. And just to go back to your question, I'm sorry I went off on a
No,
tangent here.
no, yeah,
So much that I love to talk about this is that I think sometimes if you can make those big changes, try it out. Both of my daughters, they could make their own decisions, but I did encourage both of them. They live in New York City to go elsewhere, to live somewhere else when they went to college. And they made the decision to do that, and they were free not to do that. But I think it really, that was good. They came back to New York, but they went somewhere else for a while.
right,
And so I
right.
think that if you can make a big change, make a big change. Maybe you don't want to do it forever, but you will
Mm,
start to see things differently. And so I would advocate, yes, make the big change if you can. It will give you a lot of courage. You will feel great about it. You don't have to do it forever, but also the little changes too. I was thinking about, because of your business, thinking about leadership and whatever, thinking about, I remember when I was back in the corporate world and meetings, and even meetings that I would go to on boards here. I don't know if you've ever noticed sometimes that people come in and they have their spots, their same spots, their
same
same
seats,
place,
yeah, yeah,
right? Same
yeah, mhm.
seats. So it can go down to that micro level, even within a business or a company, just to always be changing things up a little bit. I'm sure that we've known people too before in our lives where our perception of them until we actually had a conversation is totally different
Yeah,
when we
yep.
actually have a conversation with them.
With changes, because
Change
yeah,
it.
absolutely, because the more it changes. I agree with that 100%. Just on a quick side note, have you ever changed somebody's seat in a workshop? They go to lunch and you change seats, or the way the room is. Oh, it becomes just miserable. No, I lost what I had here. I was comfortable with that. Yeah, but then, like you
Right,
said, though, if
right,
you
yeah.
maybe
No.
we look at all those little changes. What other solutions do you have? I mean, that, because there's several out there, but do you have any other solutions that you want to share with us about for this, handling this loss? I think your TED Talk is so appropriately named, "How to Begin Again." I think that's, and I also think your book is appropriately named too. But how to begin again. So, what solutions would you have in order to get to that spot?
And the other thing that I would probably say is, one thing that I didn't mention is that sometimes we do, because we have this fear and we have these habits that are ingrained in us, that sometimes it's okay to take baby steps and to just say, I can't do that big thing yet. And so this is one thing that I did. And I started to observe myself. I started to make those little baby steps, take those little things. I'll just tell you anecdotally one thing in my book. There was, had so much furniture. It's 4 stories, a cellar, just, oh man, so much stuff. And I wanted to keep this one chair, and I had this guy from a furniture company come in, and I'm like, "What do you want?" He's like, "You know what? People aren't buying Art Deco anymore. It's not really worth anything." And I'm like, "Great. Please take something." And so he said, "How about that pink chair over there?" That was the one thing that I wanted to get.
The only thing you wanted.
That was the one thing I was like, "No, not the big chair." But so I think taking little steps, I think, is good because it works you up to say, now I'm going to take a little bit of a bigger step. Okay. So
Okay,
I think that's
okay,
very helpful because you get your bravery going, your courage going. I think sometimes also a second thing would be, if there's something that you might feel resistant to or hesitant to that comes up, and your normal tendency might be to say, no, I can't do that, is to say yes, like with the chair. Say yes
mm,
because you cannot know how you're going to feel and how that's going to change you and what insights you're going to get if you give a yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So I think you have to be willing to play with giving a yes sometimes. And that is in personal life, in a corporate culture, in all kinds of in relationships.
At least look for a reason to say yes. At the bare minimum, look
Right.
for the reason to say yes. Okay.